All right, Matt. It's good to see you here again.
Great to be here.
We got a few more things to do with the driver. We're getting closer to where we want to be, but we're still got a little bit of work to do. So I just want you to hit a few. I'm just going to kind of watch what's going on, and we're going to talk about what we're going to work on today. So go ahead and hit a few to warm up. I remember last time we were here, we talked a lot about the path and which way we want to get the path of the golf ball. I mean, the few that I've watched already before we started here, it sounds like you're hitting the ball really solidly, but it's not kind of going off to where you think it's supposed to be going. Can you kind of describe to me what you feel is happening?
I feel like I'm hitting it purely, but I'm losing a lot of distance, and it's either slicing or going right.
Okay. So that's it. Again, that's like what we talked about. It's a lot about paths. So go ahead and hit a couple more. I'm just going to watch a few more just so I get a really good idea of exactly what's happening. And then we'll just kind of go through and talk about the path of the golf swing and how we want you to hit it with the driver. Because it is a little bit different than an iron. You're not necessarily compressing it right into the ground. Do you feel like you have control of the golf ball when you hit, like right now when you hit your driver? Do you have a good idea if you know where it's going to go, or is it always quite a large dispersion?
It's very big.
Very big, large dispersion from side to side?
I'm unsure where it's going to go.
Okay. Go ahead and hit a couple more. I think I got a good idea of what's going on and how we can fix it, but I just want to see a few more and see what we can get with ball flight. Yeah, every single one of those sounded really solid. You feel like you've hit them well and perfect?
Yes.
Yeah?
But that one sliced even more than the first couple.
That one did look like it was kind of more off to the side than the others, you're right. Okay, go ahead and hit one more. And then I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a different way to attack the golf ball with this driver swing.
That's why I'm unsure, because that one's straight, but I didn't know where it was going.
Fair enough. Like we saw the first few kind of ended up off to the right hand side, and you hit them just as solid as you hit the first one. That last one there, you'd say?
They felt like it, yes.
They all felt very similar contact. To be honest, they all sounded like very similar contact. So, I mean, it sounds great the way you're hitting it. I think there's just a few things on how we can address the ball at setup and how we can maybe shorten our golf swing a little bit more so that we don't get up and over the top. So if I get you just to stand over here, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm seeing. So there's a few reasons as to why you kind of get that off to the right-hand side flight, that little bit of a cut or a slice as some people would call it. A lot of the reasoning is being really close to the golf ball. If you stand up really close and you stand close to the golf ball, you feel like you get trapped and your hands are too close to your body, so you tend to throw them away from you and come over the top and cut across it. As soon as you cut across the golf ball, you're going to put a left to right-hand side spin on it, and it's automatically going to go off to the right-hand side.
Now that makes sense.
Now, those random ones that you hit straight was that few times where you'd come over the top, but you'd come down with a perfectly closed face, so it would be a dead straight line push to the left-hand side. See how that kind of happens?
That makes a lot of sense.
You're just kind of coming over the top this way with that closed face. So at address, the next few I want you to hit, I want you to feel like you're stretched out a little bit further. Just feel like you're kind of reaching for that golf ball a little bit. Don't feel like you're too far away that you can't get to it. But feel like you're in a good athletic position. What I want you to do almost is to take your normal setup and slide your feet back just a little bit. Just to give you that little bit more of a stretch away from the golf ball. And hopefully that'll get you more around your body. Okay? So hit a few like that. And then we'll go through one more thing. And I think that next step will help you even better to hit the golf ball well.
This is my normal setup. And you want me here.
Correct. Awesome. That looks really good. Stay nice and stable, nice smooth swing through the golf ball.
That went dead straight, but it felt awful.
It felt weird?
Yeah.
What did they feel like you were stretched out too far? You didn't know what to do?
It's out of the ordinary for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and hit a couple more. Feel that same distance away from the golf ball. just that little bit of a stretch. I want you to do that 2 or 3 more times and just give me a good indication on whether you feel like it's getting more comfortable or less comfortable as you go along with it.
That one drew.
That one drew. So inadvertently now, you standing that little bit further away from the golf ball, your path of your golf swing is automatically already flatter and away from the golf ball. So I'm going to get you to hit one more. I'm just going to take a video from back here just on this angle, just so that I can show you exactly what it looks like now with your golf swing more around your body, just by sliding back that littlest bit just to get a little further away from the golf ball.
It still feels a little awkward.
Still feels a little awkward. So you can see here, you get the club much more on a flatter line, more around your body. But you watch at the top here, now this is the next thing I was going to talk to you about. You see how when we get to the top of the golf swing here, you can see the club way past parallel and almost come to the other side of your head, the club head? That's what we need to work on. So right now, just because you're getting a little bit too long at the golf ball, it's giving you that ability to, once you get up to the top here, you just want to throw your hands over and cast them sideways. So what I want you to do for the next few is I want you to feel like you're taking a little bit of a half swing. Right about to here, nice and smooth, don't even feel like you're hitting the golf ball hard, take a nice easy swing, and just stay nice and smooth through impact. I just want you to feel what it feels like to have a shorter golf swing. Once you make that little bit of a shorter swing, you'll notice a difference in contact as well, too.
So you're saying that when I swing, I'm like here basically?
Exactly.
This is coming like this?
Exactly. Your hands are getting too high and the club's coming all the way around to here, and you're seeing it out of the corner of your eye. But realistically, bring it to about 9 o'clock, your arms. That's about as long as a golf swing you want to take. See how the club head is almost up above here? That's as far as you want to go. The further you get the club away from the golf ball, the harder it is to get it back to square at the golf ball. So you want to swing nice and short and compact to keep control of the head.
But isn't that full swing what gives me more power?
Not necessarily, because when you swing fully, you're never going to really hit the center of the face. It's not going to happen as often. I shouldn't say never. It's just not going to happen as often.
Not as consistent as I want it to be.
Exactly. So if you can keep that swing nice and short, you're going to have a better chance of hitting the center of the face every time. So same thing, feel like you get that little bit further away from it, and just take a nice, smooth, half swing, half power, just to feel smooth contact. Better contact, and it's actually starting to go a lot straighter to where your lower body is aiming. Go ahead and hit a couple more, and like I said, let me know if it feels like it's getting any more comfortable to you or if it's getting weirder. I feel like there's one more little thing that we could kind of tweak here just to make it a little bit of a better trajectory starting off. It's just kind of starting off into the wrong direction off the club head. It's not going into where you're aiming. So nice and smooth, feel like you're taking half a swing. That's better. That's better. Now, do you notice that kind of left hand turn now?
Yes.
So what that is, that's you rotating your hands through impact with that flatter plane. So before, when you were coming over the top this way and closing your hands down, no matter how well you closed your hands down, coming over the top was giving it that off to the side hand spin. But now that you're getting the club a little bit more on plane, the more you rotate your hands faster to try and catch up, you're going to start to go off to the left hand side. So I want you to hit these next few. I want you to feel like the path you take on the way down from the golf ball, or from the golf swing is more on an in to out direction. So before, when you were swinging the golf club and you were hitting your driver, you were coming on this direction with a closed club face to get it to go straight to the left hand side. The last few golf balls that you've hit with the shorter golf swing, you've been more on plane, but you've been really closing your hands down because that's what you're used to try and
sending it left.
Exactly, because you're trying to save your over the top cut. You're not used to kind of closing your hands down and keeping them square through impact. So what I want you to feel like now is I want you to swing out on this path with the driver, and I want you to feel like you keep your hands open a little bit longer through impact to target. So it's perfect that you have a glove on because it's a lot easier to feel that way. So what you want to feel is, like your label of your glove is pointing through the target more at impact, almost to the point where you hit the golf ball. You can see the back of your hand and try and hold it off as long as you can. And then once your hands get too far, that's when you rotate your hands around and through.
So you want me to feel like I'm pushing this outward that way?
You got it, exactly.
Okay. I just mishit that one.
Okay, yeah, no worries. It's going to feel weird, so you're not going to be able to hit them perfectly right away. But go ahead, take your time, hit 3 or 4. Wow, it's much better. See that nice tight little draw there? Did that feel better? Did that feel like a good swing there? Did you feel better contact, more control?
That felt great
It
compared to everything else.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead and hit a couple more. I'll grab you some more tees here. So I want you to feel that same motion. We just hit that last one. That inside, around the body, and try to hold your hands off through impact. Awesome. There it is there.
That one was dead straight.
You can't tell me that that was a bad golf swing. That was pumped. That was awesome. Does it feel any better? Can you feel what I'm trying to get across, the motion?
Compared to the first one where you had me step back, that felt way better.
Yeah? Do you know now, the biggest thing is, do you notice the difference of the feeling of holding your hands off? That one went dead straight, so you had to have held your hands off on that one. Okay. Because that's what I want to get across right now, is that feeling. I want to make sure that you know how that feels before we leave. Awesome.
That feels a lot more comfortable now.
Yeah? What's the biggest difference that you're noticing? Like, what's the biggest difference in feeling? Is it the standing too far away from it? Is it the holding your hands off through impact? Or can you actually really feel that inside to out more than over the top?
Well, I find that if I try to hold that label of my golf glove outward that way as long as I can, that everything else just falls into place.
It just kind of, it holds that timing off and creates that flow to the golf swing?
Yes.
Awesome. Go ahead and keep doing it. We want to see that same thing over and over again. We got to create that muscle memory or repetition. Gorgeous. That was awesome. Awesome. Right, does it feel like you're getting more consistent each time? Like it feels easier after those last couple?
It feels great, except a couple of muscles in my back that I've never used in my golf swing before. Right about here.
Fair enough, fair enough. So same thing, keep that nice smooth short backswing. Hold that hand off through impact. Awesome. That is a great golf ball. That is a great golf ball. Let's do that 2 or 3 more times. Let's keep that feeling going.
I felt my hand slip a little on that one. That sliced a tiny bit.
Yeah. I think the length in the backswing on that one was a little bit longer than previous. I think because you're getting so comfortable, you hit those last 2 or 3 like long and really straight, and you're getting a little too comfortable, and the swing's just getting a little bit longer than it's supposed to be. Try and focus on keeping that nice and 3/4 swing. When you kept it nice and short, the rest of it fell through, like you said, and it was fluid and it was smooth. Awesome. That's better there. I think that one was just, again, like I said, try and feel like you're a little bit shorter. Those last 2, you were just the tiniest bit over the top, or you got just a little bit too long that you allowed your hands to come over the top. Really focus on that downward and inside motion of the hands. That one sounded way better.
That was perfect.
On. Yeah, so let's look at this one and see if we can get the top of the golf swing at a shorter. Oh, look at that. See how the hands are perfectly, club is perfectly flat, parallel. That's as far as you'd want to take the golf club. Any further than that, you wouldn't be able to control it as well as you did. And that's why you're hitting the ball so much more consistently. Is that top of the golf swing is much shorter. Do you feel like you're getting your hands that high, or do you feel like your hands are shorter than
It feels like they're down here,
right? And
not
that,
up here.
but that's that little bit of extension through the body. It's that recoil at the top of the golf swing. Your hands get to a point and your shoulders just have to turn that littlest bit, and that's what gets the club too far. You have to do that recoil or stretch before you can come back the other way. So that's why you want to feel like you get to that 3/4 of the golf swing. But you got that, those last couple, you've focused on that 3/4, the contact, the flight, everything is way more solid.
And I think I hit both of those about 350 carry.
At least. I'll give you 300. Same thing, keep that same motion. We've hit 3 or 4 good ones in a row. Same short swing, keep those hands through impact.
They're a lot more consistent,
Yeah?
and if I do come over the top or a lengthy swing, it's just a slight fade rather than an absolute slice now.
Do you feel like you're starting it more often to your target direction though? Like let's say if you were aiming, actually that's a great thing. Let's make a fairway out there. Let's decide 2 of these flags on which our fairway is, and let's aim into a point and to get it into that fairway each time. Because then we can see if our starting direction is where we're trying to end up. Because if you coming over the top before, it was impossible to aim it in a certain spot because you couldn't guarantee how far or how less over the top you would go, so your starting direction was never where you wanted it to be. So let's decide from here right now, let's go between the red flag way back there and the white flag on the right-hand side.
Okay.
That is our fairway.
Okay.
Okay? So let's move this back just a little bit so we can get away from this tree on the right-hand side here. So I want you to do what you would do to aim up and to get set up for that drive into that fairway.
No,
Okay. What do you feel like you did there that made that kind of go in the wrong direction?
I was thinking too much.
Thinking too much? Fair enough. All right, let's try not to think too much on this one. Same thing, all you want to think about, Matt, is short swing and hold that label off through impact.
I also think I was aimed over there slightly.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, right now, looking from behind you, I feel like you're aimed 3 yards left of that red flag. Is that about where you feel like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew. That was just off the toe.
You felt like you hit that one a little off the toe? I think you might just be stretching a little bit too much. I know we talked about getting further away from the golf ball. My point of view from behind you back there, it looks like you were more on this kind of path than what we were trying to achieve.
Okay.
So I think that's the biggest factor, is you really want to focus on that. Obviously this is severe, but you really want to focus on that inside and around your body. Okay? That's what we want to get from that short, compact swing.
Can I move this out of the way? It seems to be scaring me.
Yeah, you can move it to any point that's still going to give you a visual aid. You just want to make sure that it's there so you can help yourself to kind of swing inside and around. The biggest thing that's going to help you is a short golf swing though. So you want to swing nice and smooth, keep that swing short.
That was exactly where we wanted it to go.
Again, that was another good golf swing, just to hit it a little bit high in the face. Nice and smooth, short swing. There we go, Matt. That's what we're looking for.
That felt good.
That was a dead bullet right at that left side of the fairway, right where you were aiming, just inside that red flag. Did you feel like you did something different there than the 5 swings before that?
My stance felt a little better, like a dress, basically.
Okay. You feel like you were more closer to it, more on top of it,
It just felt more of a natural stance.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I was stretching, but I didn't feel like I was too close to come over the top.
Perfect. Okay. As long as you can reestablish that feeling, if you can stand there and go, that was just very natural. Now you know to get up into the golf ball again and just be like, okay, just be natural. That's a good swing there. I think now that we're hitting the ball straighter, you're overcompensating for how you were before. So your alignment's just a little bit off, which is a good thing that we figured it out because we can kind of work with that now and give you a little bit to work with so that when we meet together next time, we got something to kind of come across of. So before, when you were coming over the top so much and then getting that right-hand side spin, you really had to aim left all the time to kind of compensate for that off the right-hand side. You don't want to lose it right every time.
Absolutely.
So now that we're hitting it straighter, you're kind of too far left, and you're just hitting it dead straight and right left. You're hitting it perfect. You're just not aimed up in the right spot. So what I want you to do with this next one, I want you to feel like you get your feet more aimed up like you want the path of the golf club. So when you stand here and you aim at that red flag, I want you to feel like your feet are on the opposite angle as the way you brought the club before. So that alignment rod there now is there for two reasons. It's there to help you get your feet set up so your hips are set up in a good spot, and it's there as a visual aid to help you stay in the slot and around your body. So set up, and I just want you to feel like you either drop this one or pull this one up, just so that there's like there's a half an inch of gap between the two of them. It's the same golf swing as we just did.
Now I feel like I'm lined up too far right, but I think I'm compensating for what my old swing used to be.
You got it. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm aimed up on the right-hand side of the fairway. But realistically, looking at you from right here, right now, you're aimed up dead straight at that wooden shed in between those two flags.
And to me, from what I'm used to, I feel like I'm going to hit this tree that's 30 yards in front of us.
Yeah. You just want to make that same good golf swing and watch the ball fly. That was a good swing, just a little high in the face again, that's all. Bring that left foot up a little bit more. There we go.
That one drew, but
That one drew, but there's a reason that one went off to the left-hand side. Now, I'm going to ask you a question here. When you hit the golf ball, after you've made impact, do you feel like 100% of your weight goes through the ball on the other side, or do you feel like you leave a little bit back on your back foot?
I'm definitely sitting back.
Okay, so that's the reason. Now that we're hitting the ball straight, we're making better swings at it. Doing stuff like that was helping you compensate for your over the top is going to hinder you as we get closer to a better golf swing. So the next few, I want you to feel like you really, after you hit it, again, take a nice smooth swing, even take a few practice swings just to feel what it's like to fully rotate onto the other side. Because that would have been a perfect golf ball if you had just transferred all that weight to the other side. You just leaned back that little bit, and that's what turned the club head too much, and it went off to the left-hand side. Yes, there you go, that's better. Almost want to feel like when you hit it, I know you're athletic enough, so you should be able to do it. When you hit through the golf ball, almost feel like you can stand on your left foot. See that little bit of that lean backwards?
That's muscle memory that I want to keep doing that.
Exactly. You just want to feel like even if you have to, there's a few practice swings, swing and step through onto this side. Feel what it's like to move forward. Feel different than you getting up there and leaning backwards? Yes. Just after one?
Yeah. That swing around again.
Do you notice what the feeling is of rotating that way?
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to step through every time. I want you to just kind of know what it feels like to move that body forward and not lean backward. But I think if I
do that a couple times, it'll give me a better indication of what I need to do to not end up like this in my swing.
So this, take your practice swing, put this foot on your pinky toe. Not like this. Yeah, don't put any weight on it. Take a golf swing. Don't even have to step forward. Just feel what it's like to stay on that foot. You're posted on there. Because that's the position you need to get in at the end. Is up on your tippy toes and onto this left hand side. Exactly. Right there. That's what you want to feel. Exactly. Wow.
That felt pure.
What a difference, right? And that's all, and you didn't swing it anywhere near as hard as you did at the other ones. That was just full body rotation and moving every bit of energy that you had into that golf ball.
That was on the screws.
Yeah. It looks really good. That's okay. Do you know what you did wrong on that one? Did you feel what the difference was on that one?
I think I just turned my hands over too much.
And the reason you did that is because you came just a little bit over the top. You didn't have that inside the path swing. You kind of just went over the top of the golf ball and steered it off into that direction. Nice and smooth.
Short swing, inside out. Follow through.
Awesome. That's a great golf ball, Matt. Great golf ball. On a roll. You feel like you're getting more confident, closer to hitting it the same way? You feel like you can repeat that?
If I go through the steps in my head before, as I'm at address,
Yeah.
I feel like I can do that.
Perfect.
But if I don't think about it, then I'm unsure.
Yeah, you just don't want to have too much to think about. So that what you said before that last one there, what did you say?
Short swing, inside out, and then follow through.
Perfect. That's as much information as you want to give yourself before you hit a golf ball. If you say one more thing tonight, your brain's going to go poof and explode. You want to keep it short and simple. Those are short and simple thoughts to make a good contact, to make a good swing.
Short swing, inside out, follow through.
Do you know what you did on that one that didn't get perfect flight?
I think it was a little bit of a longer swing, but
Yeah, just that little bit of that length, that little bit extra, gets you to come this way. If you keep it nice and short, it's easier to keep those hands in the slot and drop them downwards. It's good that you can tell me what you're doing, what those little things that you've missed though, because now when you go to the range tomorrow, the next day, and you hit a bad one, you can go, oh, that's what I did wrong. That's what I did wrong.
rather than trying to remedy something I have no idea what it is.
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. That's a great golf ball. Great golf ball. Okay.
That felt way better.
I'm going to grab 3 balls. I want you to do full pre-shot routine. I want you to pick a target. You can change the target each time if you want to. You can keep the fairway the same, but I want you to give me a fairway each time you hit a golf ball.
I'm going to go all 3 of them in between the white and red flag.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of this now too. So our visual aid is gone. I want you to really focus on, take your pre-shot routine, take your, your 20, 25 seconds to get yourself prepared, go through that little short speech that you'll give yourself to hit a good shot, and then aim it down that fairway. Each time you hit one, I want you to turn around and tell me either you did everything right or what you missed and did wrong.
That felt like I did everything right. I just feel like I was lined up compensating for what I used to do still.
Yeah, you're right. You were aimed up just a little bit too much down the left-hand side. You were aimed up pretty much right at that red flag. So as soon as you just hit that little bit of a drop, it's off the fairway because you're aimed up too far left to begin with. That's good that you can see that though. That's perfect. Okay, we got 2 more. Let's make 2 more good swings. Now that we've moved that visual aid away, you're just not getting it right back to the same spot. So before you hit this last one, I want you to set up and go, okay, I feel like I'm in the right spot. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to drop this alignment rod down, and then I want you to come back and we're going to look at it together and see exactly where you're aimed up.
That feels like I'm down in between the middle of those.
Okay, come on back here. Nope, like come up where it is. So now when you stand back here, I mean, you're closer to it, but you're still down the left half of the fairway. If I had to pick a spot that your body would have been aimed to, you're pretty much aimed at those garbage cans back there.
Yep.
And that's why you're just kind of hitting it that little bit too far left. So you're not getting the ball to start off right. Because we're making the ball go the opposite opposite flight now, because you're actually hitting the ball well and turning it over and
I
it's
need
going
to
left.
adjust more so.
Exactly. You don't want to go too far off the right hand side because you're making good golf swings. But if you had to pick a spot, I would say you'd want to aim out at that halfway house. That's, you know, just inside the right hand side of the fairway. Because you're going to think you're there, but you're not going to be aimed up there anyways. Because you're going to feel like you're oh my God, that's too far.
Yeah.
So you're going to naturally move back a little bit anyways.
Okay.
So we want you to feel like you're just inside that white flag up there, right at the halfway. Better, that's better.
See, and to me, I feel like I'm aimed about 20 yards right of where we just discussed.
Yeah. So just a smooth, nice smooth swing, short swing, stay inside, and just hold those hands off. Awesome. Now it's going to land in the center of the fairway, and it's going to run a mile.
That was exactly where we just said we wanted to place it.
Exactly. So do you feel more confident now that we went through today, that you feel like you can hit a better drive, you can aim it at a better spot and be more consistent?
Yes.
Do you feel like you gained more distance today?
Yes.
I would say so too. Perfect. I'm glad that we got through as much as we did. Next time we get together, we'll go through a little bit more of alignment, and we'll go through ways to kind of attack a hole and use different sides of the fairway to attack the green. So we'll learn how to actually play the golf hole a little bit more. So everything we did today will be a little bit more majorized inside to a bigger, grander scheme of things. Okay?
That sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.